Hello, this is Patrick with OneCNC West, and what we're going to do is demonstrate some of the powerful new geometric tools provided by OneCNCXR5. I'm going to head over to the main menu, and from the submenu I'll select Rectangle. Now instead of using coordinate input, I'm going to hop right into the drawing area. Now the first thing you'll notice is that OneCNC is now snapping to a grid. We can see the grid point snap locations right here in the lower left hand corner. This provides a tremendous amount of advantages. For example, I can now easily snap x0, y0, and let's say we come over here to x6, how about y-3, and then we'll left click. Also notice too that as we're creating geometry, OneCNC is referencing off of existing geometry. So if I want to use that dashed horizontal line, I can now make sure that my new rectangle starts exactly at the same y value where my last rectangle left off. Let's further demonstrate this by creating a few circles. So let's go ahead and zoom out. I'll pan over just a little bit. I'm going to quickly snap here at x-7. Now as I move my cursor up, there's my reference line. That's the dashed line right there, and that ensures that I'm at the same x value. As I move to the right, there's the same y value. We'll do the same over here. There's the same y value, the same x value, same y, same x and y. Now we can also do a lot of things on the fly. Let's head down here and change the radius to a 1/2 inch. And what if we want to create circles right on these endpoints? Well, we no longer have to access submenus. We can go right to work. I'm going to left click and left click. This provides a direct, efficient way to create geometry. We can do the same thing with arc centers. Let's just move our cursor up here, grab the arc center and left click and left click. How about midpoints? Same thing. We'll just grab the midpoint marker, left click and left click. In fact, if you'd like, you can even create geometry on the circumference of an existing circle. Let's do that right here. I'll take my cursor, I'm going to grab right here at A0, how about up here at A90, and over here at A180. Very, very quick. Now you can also dynamically snap the circumference just by moving your cursor and snapping where you'd like. Let's take a look now at creating some lines. So we'll head over here to our main menu, and I'll select line from the submenu. To create a single line, just left-hand click, and when you're finished, just right-hand mouse click. Now if you want to create something more complicated, just keep going. So let's do that. We're going to left click, left click, left click, left click, and left click, and when we're finished we can right hand mouse click. Also notice too that we're in the same command. We can keep going. So let's do that. We'll head over here, we'll left click, and all I'm doing is just left clicking, and when I'm finished I right hand mouse click. Let's say if I want to create a line now that joins these two endpoints. Now remember, we don't have to grab submenus anymore. We can just go right to work. We're going to left click, and then right click. It's such a fast and direct way to create geometry. Let's split this guy right down the middle. I'm going to grab these midpoints. That looks great. We'll come down and left click, and when we're finished we'll right hand mouse click. To finish this off, how about we create a line that starts at this endpoint and terminates tangent to this circle. Left click, take your cursor, move above the circle, wait till you see the tangency marker and left click, and when you're done you just right click. We'll do the same underneath here. Perfect. So creating geometry within XR5 is very, very direct, quick, and efficient. Now let's take a look at another very powerful tool provided by XR5, and this is called the Alter command. The Alter command allows you to quickly alter existing geometry, and it's located right up here within the Transform toolbar. I'm going to select the Alter tool, and for the first demonstration, let's say we want to change the diameter of this circle. To do that, just simply left click on the circumference and drag. You can drag up or you can drag down. Now if you don't want to drag out the diameter, you can left click the circumference, and instead of dragging, just run down here to the coordinate input area and type in whatever radius you want. I'll type in a 1/2 inch and hit the enter key. Now you can use the Alter tool to also move geometry. For example, I'm going to grab the very center of that circle, and I'm going to grab that endpoint, and now I've moved the circle to that endpoint. Let's do the same with this small circle here. I want to move it to that endpoint right there. So I'm going to left click the center, and I'll left click right there. It's very, very quick. We can do the same thing with lines. I'm going to grab the end of that line and move it right to the end of that line right there. Let's take that line and move it right up to the very center of that circle. So it's very, very fast and efficient. Now let's wrap this video up by showing you another tool that's provided by XR5. What I'm going to do is I'm going to select this group of geometry right here, and let's say we want to rotate that. We'll head up to our rotate command. XR5 now says pick the position that you'd like to rotate around. I'm just going to left click X0, Y0, Z0. Now as soon as I do that, XR5 superimposes a compass right over the drawing area. I can now use that compass to quickly snap where I want to rotate to. Alright, now if you don't want to use the compass, all you have to do is this. Select where you want to rotate around, and instead of using the compass, you can come over here, and because of my reduced screen capture area, you can't see it, but there definitely is an angle field and also the ability to change what axis you want to rotate around. So you don't have to use the compass, but it sure is a great brand new tool provided by XR5. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.